Hey, today I'm checking out something pretty sweet from Hammy 3D Prints. So Hammy, he 3D prints all sorts of gun accessories, and this is a light cover, a light cap for the Streamlight Pro Tac, and it just looks great. Look at that finish. It is totally premium. I like that texture top, and everything feels really durable. And so it comes with all the mounting hardware. And so this little collar goes around the head of the light, and then that is how you can attach the cap on there. So that keeps all the cap and the bungee straps all towards the front end of the light, which is really great. And then once you get that all sized up, you tie off those bungee straps, you cut the tips, and then you burn them, just to kind of seal it. So here is my rifle, my Daniel Defense rifle with that Streamlight Pro Tac there, and the cap fits perfectly. And yep, and so that collar also just goes right over the head there. So I'm just kind of checking how the fitment is and how to do everything. And I can see that my backup sight is really blocking me. So I've got this mount here. I believe it's a Monstrum Pro Tac mount, and it keeps the light so close to the rail that I actually can't fit the collar to where I need it to be. So I need to take the light off so I could get to that backup sight and remove that. And I'm just going to spin it around, and that's going to push that little lever back far enough that it's not going to be in the way of the mount for the cap. So I think Lucas at T-Rex Arms sometimes runs his backup sights backwards. So I'm going to do that for now, but I could adjust it a little differently. But it's pretty easy. So you slide that down over the head of the light. You make sure that you've got the nut in there, and then you just tighten down the screw. And you get that nice and snug on there. You could throw some Loctite on there if you're worried about that kind of thing. And it really grabs on really rigidly to the light. It's not going to be going anywhere. So that's pretty sweet. And once you have that on, I'm going to remount the light before I finish with the cap and just make sure everything's going to fit. But it looks like it will fit. So get that mount back down on there, and you can see that I have clearance for the red dot, or for the backup sight, and for the cap. So then you want to slide those bungee cords through the two holes in the cap, and you want it to be nice and tight. So I'm going to pull on it a little bit, make sure it's nice and taut when I go to put this knot in here. And just tie a knot. Doesn't have to be anything too fancy. That'll just keep that from sliding back through. So I get the one knot in, make the next knot really nice and tight so it holds the cap tightly onto the flashlight. Obviously, if it's too loose, you'll see some light bleed, but when it's nice and tight, there will be no light bleed. And that seems like that will be just about perfect there. So tie that down, pretty easy. And then you'd come back through and snip off all this extra, and then just burn the ends a little bit to keep it from fraying. And look at that. It's really cool with that extension on the cap where you just kind of pull back on that and it pops it right off. And see, I can still use the backup sight. So I think that'll be fine for now. Everything feels nice and sturdy. And look at that. You just touch that back. It pops back. It's held out of the way of the light. Throw that forward, and look, it completely blocks the light transmission. And that's exactly what you want to see. Some caps might have a little light bleed through the cap or around the cap, but this is a perfect fit. Hammy, he's got them in all different sizes for different lights. And if you have a generic light on Amazon, you can kind of match it to the closest light that's similar. Hammy 3D Prints, you got to go check him out. He's got so much great stuff. He's a great guy. Included a starburst in the box. Thanks for checking out the video.